We create this space just for you. Make we talk about you, make we talk about school, government and politics, sports, academics, anything that concern you. I don't know where love pass through. It's all about the gospel.
All right, all right. Welcome to Campus Connection. It's so very good to have you here with us listening this evening. I am Jonathan Fletcher, your host for this evening's show, and I'm so very happy that you would have taken the time out of your busy schedule to listen or to watch us if you're watching us on our live stream at Love 101 FM Jamaica. That's on our Facebook or on our YouTube page. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so very grateful that you would have decided to stop by this evening. And so we have a very exciting show for you. We have something very amazing for you. So if you're watching on the live stream at Love 101 FM Jamaica, I'm just going to ask you to just pause for a cause and just share the live stream with a friend, a neighbor, a student, a teacher, a parent, someone who you know would benefit greatly from this program. Go ahead and share with them right now, because this evening we are speaking about reaching boys. That's the focus for this evening's show. So it's a very powerful topic, very relevant based on what's happening in our society. So we want to talk about reaching boys. What does that look like? What are some of the factors contributing to this? What are some of the things that we need to do in order to reach our young men? So we want to look on that this evening. We're also going to be, of course, doing our education news and bulletin, and then we'll have our honor roll with Mr. Daniel White, CMU graduate and sales executive at CGM Jamaica Limited. And then we will go straight into our I Chose Christ feature with Rodnick Mills from UTech. And then, of course, our main segment with the topic reaching boys, and we'll have persons like Dr. Howard Harvey, Career Development Officer at Heart NSTA Leap Center, and Reverend Stacey Garvey, Executive Director from the Resurrected Garvey Ministries. So we want to really encourage you to go ahead and, as I said, tell somebody that Campus Connection is on and they need to tune in right now. They need to be a part of this amazing show. Whether it is you want to listen on the radio at Love 101 .1357 or 9, or if you want to listen at Love 101 FM Jamaica and watch us as well on the live stream on Facebook or on YouTube. All right, so we want to see you here with us, and we have our social media question that we want to hear from you. What can we do to ensure that our boys maximize their full potential? That's the question we're asking this evening. What can we do to ensure that our boys are maximizing their full potential? And you can send your responses to 876 997 3125. That's 876 997 3125 on WhatsApp, or you can comment on our live stream at Love 101 FM Jamaica. We are waiting to hear from you concerning that. So the question is, what can we do to ensure that our boys maximize their full potential? In the meantime, in between time, we're going straight into our education news and bulletin, and this will be done by Orain Mattis, sixth form student at the St. Catherine High School.
Anything that concern you. I don't know where love pass through. It's all about the
Education
gospel.
news and bulletin for Tuesday, May 21st, 2024, here inside Campus Connection. 14 students at the Rodens Hall High School in Orange Bay, Hanover, received certificates under the Jamaica Center for Tourism and Innovation's JCTI Plot Lifeguard Training Program for high school students. The program aims to increase the number of certified lifeguards in the area. During the awards ceremony held at the institution on Thursday, May 9, 9 students received certification in lifeguarding, standard first aid, and cardiopulmonary resuscitation (CPR), while 5 received certificates for standard first aid and CPR. The students were awarded certificates from the Royal Life Saving Society (RLSS), which is internationally recognized. The initiative, funded by the Tourism Enhancement Fund, TEF at a cost of over $4 million was undertaken in collaboration with the Jamaica Hotel and Tourists Association, JHTA's Negral chapter, and the Negral Wave Runners Swim Club. The Heart and Estate Trust is inviting volunteers to join their trainees and staff as they execute Labor Day projects across Jamaica. Labor Day will be observed on Thursday, May 23, under the theme Ramp Up the Access, Show That You Care, with a focus on persons with disabilities, the elderly, and the vulnerable. Managing Director of the Heart and Estate Trust, Dr. Tanisha Inglinton, added that we will be across the island constructing ramps, mounting signage, establishing accessible parking spaces, installing handrails, improving restroom accessibility, and refurbishing activities will be taking place. Dr. Inglinton advised the public while she was addressing Friday's May 10 Workers' Week and Labor Day launch. Now, time for the bulletin. The Jamaican Home Economics Association presents its annual general meeting 2024 under the theme Technological Trends in Home Economics 2. This will be held at the University of Technology, Jamaica Shared Faculties in room LT50 on 237 Old Hope Road, Kingston 6 on Wednesday, May 22, 2024 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. There will be discussion/presentation on AI in education, using AI to prepare lessons in home economics, and special booth display. If you missed the online registration, you may contact the JHEA at 876-387-7637 or 876-456-7923 for more details. The St. Catherine High School Performing Arts Department presents a family show on May 25th at St. Catherine High School starting at 5:30 p.m. with performances by the St. Catherine High School Performing Arts Group and Wildfire. Cost will be $800 in aid of the St. Catherine High School Performing Arts Group. The Inter-Christian Fellowship, in association with Christian Teachers in Action, presents Teachers Conference 2024 under the theme Fortified for the Future on Saturday, June 1 from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the St. Andrew High School for Girls located at 10 Celestio Avenue, Kingston. You can register via bit.ly/teachers CONF 2024. Live streaming will be done via Christian Teachers on YouTube. For more information, call 876-649-1006 and admission is free of cost. The University of Technology Jamaica Faculty of Education and Liberal Studies presents the 5th International Conference on Education and Humanities under the theme The New Frontier: Trends, Possibilities, and Challenges for Education, the Humanities, and the Social Sciences on June 4th to 6th, 2024 at UTEC Jamaica Papine campus with keynote speaker Rohan Jowala, senior instructional designer at the University of Central Florida, USA. For more information and registration, please contact Dr. Hope Main at 876-927-16808 using the extension 2414. Finally, Passion and Purity JA invites you to their youth summer camp from August 7 to 10, 2024 at the Rockhampton Hotel, Manor Park area in Kingston. Cost will be $13,850. That's all the news we have for you here inside Campus Connection. I am Orin Matthews. Good evening.
All right. So there you have it. All right. Thank you very much, Orain, for sharing with us inside Education News and Bulletin. So just make a quick, notation of all the happenings on our campuses. We're going straight into our honor roll segment with Mr. Daniel White, CMU graduate and sales executive at CGM Jamaica Limited. He is driven by steadfast determination and fervent motivation, both guided by a strong moral compass He firmly believes in the adage that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one that than to have an opportunity and not be prepared for it. In addition to spearheading sales initiatives, he also serves as the corporate social responsibility ambassador, deeply committed to fostering a positive impact within our community and beyond. Beyond Daniel's professional endeavors, he's honored to serve as a youth evangelist within the Apostolic Church of Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, please send up some fire emojis, some applause emojis in the chat as we have our conversation with our honorable guest, Daniel White. Daniel, greetings.
Greetings, good afternoon.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. But let's get straight into it as we kind of get to understand where you are now. And sometimes in order to understand where you are now, you have to understand where you're coming from. Right. So when you think back to young Daniel, what are some of the traits that you would have employed over the years that you think would have contributed to where you are now?
All right, so first and foremost, the Bible declares that he that have begun it a good work in you is able to complete it. And with Christ in
Mm-hmm.
your vessel, of course, you can smile at whatever storms and obstacles come your way. So I understood the assignment. I understood the importance of being called and chosen by God from an early age. And
Yes.
where I am now is technically aligned with the call that God would have placed on my life. Of course, He would have also placed instrumental persons along the way that helps me to be where I am. So looking back on the journey, definitely I can say it's a journey that is dedicated to God's will and God's purpose, and
Yes.
me just being obedient as a servant.
Powerful, absolutely powerful. And I'm seeing here where you were a three-time recipient of the Dean's Honor Roll Award. Big thing, right? I'm sure that wasn't an easy thing to achieve during your tenure at CMU. But how did you manage? Because basically, you would have gone to CMU during the pandemic, correct? At some
I,
point in time.
Right. So I started CMU in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
COVID came in 2020. So I was practically halfway through my studies when COVID-19 came and when the impact started.
Yes.
Um, During that time, it was difficult to navigate success, adapting and coping with the different changes that was taking place. It was difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from York Castle Saint Anne, a small farming community that is.
Wow.
And I was boarding in Arborview at the time because you have to stay close to the school community.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to move back home because COVID came. Nobody
Yeah.
understood the pandemic. Nobody understood it was something new that we were dealing with. So I had to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
Adjusting to the internet glitches, adjusting to the new way of life. But some of the things that helped me during COVID, while I
Yes.
was completing my study, was one, to be adaptable, right?
Hmm.
I did not spend much time thinking about how it used to be. I wish it was like this. I understood that there was no need to be
Time to
adaptable,
pivot.
right?
Yeah.
So adaptability is one of the key key indicators, one of the key pointers that I would say would have helped me. Also, my ability to not be supervised by whether it be instructors, lecturers, or a teacher, and know that I still have to meet these appointments, I still have to meet these deadlines. And of course, the distraction would have increased because now you have to manage your time and you have to manage, your due dates. So
Yes.
I also, find ways and methods to deal with the distractions. Um, I recreated a timetable. I still, put in the hours of studies. As you'd have alluded that I am a three-time Dean Honor Roll recipient at CMU.
Yes.
That's not an easy
Not at all.
it's not an easy thing to do. It requires a lot of hard work. It requires a lot of sacrifice and a lot of study. So even when I wasn't on campus, I understood in the back of my head, I have a vision. I know what I went there for. And even though I'm not
Yes.
on campus, I think I still kept the dream alive because the purpose going there was bigger than actually going there. It's not like my mother or my father say, "Oh, you need to go CMU because you're gonna get a job in school." No, no. I understood that education would have been a point
Important.
to pivot, right?
Yeah. All right, all right. Powerful, powerful stuff coming out of the conversation here with Daniel, honor roll guest this evening on Campus Connection. We'll have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back after these messages.
How can budgeting help you manage your financial health? One of the major keys to a budget and maintaining your financial health is to stick to your budgeted expenses, regardless of whether you start making more money or bringing in more income. You should definitely be saving more if you are earning more. This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
All right. We could do a roll call.
The Love Jockey is on duty every Saturday inside Youth Connection. Don't miss the hype. Don't miss the tunes. Don't miss the excitement with your boy, DJ Rebirth. Saturdays at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. At 3 p.m., your DJ runs the gospel rhythms. Hot, hot. Tune in at 4 p.m. for a time where we share a word to grow your mind. GYM, grow your mind. Jim, get it? Grow your mind. And at 4:30 p.m., we share with you how young people are giving all their time and fulfilling their purpose inside Ministry in Action. We get a taste of poetry and spoken word inside Poetry and Praise. And you get to send us a WhatsApp message and request your favorite gospel song inside Gospel Faves at 5. All this and more every Saturday at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. with your love jock, your boy, DJ Rebirth. It's all here on the family station, Love 101.
Youth Connection. Shuboti and them figured him provide everything on guide people we trot. Shuboti and them figured him alone make we appear when we did chat. Hey, hey. Shuboti. The best Burger King with the best tasting burger under the sun. You deserve the best. You are number one. Best, best. Flame grilling, juicy whopper, cause you deserve it. Yeah, next level, awesome. That's how we serve. Mama menu done your way. To taste rules every day. Flame grilled goodness. You deserve it. Great taste, well done. More flavor, fresh Burger King, best tasting burger under the sun. Here we go! Here we go! Here we go!
The Unity Singers present their 17th anniversary concert called God Has Been There.
May 25, 2024.
At the Brownstown United Lifeline Deliverance Church starting at 6:30 p.m. Featuring the Unity Singers, Sister Petra K, Sister Arlene, Minister Marsha J, Positive Vibration, and many more. MCs Ornisa Blackstock and Marsha Ali Purple Dixon Brown. Admission $1,000 pre-sold, $1,500 at the gate. You've got to be there.
Think ahead, make a plan. You got the freedom of choice.
Lark, long-acting reversible contraceptives.
I made my choice 6 years ago. I have an IUCD, also called copper T, and it will go and protect me from pregnancy for another 4 years at least.
My choice was an implant. It lasts for 5 years. And when I'm ready for a baby, I just make doctor take it out. Contact the National Family Planning Board at 9681632 to find out more about the Lark.
Think ahead, make a plan. You got the freedom of choice.
Mindset Conference 2024, the Gospel Edition, Monday to Wednesday, May 20 to 22, at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel with Pastor John Gray, Pastor Travis Green, Dr. Jackie Green, Todd Gabbard, Phil Thomas, Minister Marion Hall, Kevin Downswell, Sherry Gardner, Rhoda Isabella, Pastor Junior Tucker, Bishop Everton Thomas, and many more. Join us for dinner, workshop, panel discussions, praise and worship, undiluted word, and concert every night. Mindset Conference. For more info, mindsetconference.org. Get your tickets now.
Okay, where are the campus eyes? Students are strap up in a price.
All right. Welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Daniel White, CMU graduate, a brilliant young man, 3-time recipient of the Dean's Honor Roll Award at CMU. You know, that's not an easy thing to do at all. And before the break, Daniel was basically giving some tips, if you will, and I'm really hoping that students or campusites have been taking notes. But Daniel, you would have done your part from a personal standpoint. What about your support system? What was that like?
I have a very robust support system.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for every aspect of the journey. I my family has been instrumental. Mentors have been instrumental. My church family too has been
Yeah.
instrumental. I can remember. I can take it all the way back, just for the sake of time. Though, when I was doing my CXC subject, I used to I attended Ocho Years High School back in Saint Ann. I used to leave school, go to prayer meeting, and then go to school. So the
Wow.
church, so because I grew up in the church basically. So the church overall has always been a part of my support system. My pastor,
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Marshall Taylor, where the spiritual aspect is concerned. My grandmother, I love her dearly. Miss Rima
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton over there in the Castle. She as well has been a driving force, and she have always been my support system as well. You know, she lost her sight when I just started CMU, and that's one of the things
Wow.
while it breaks my heart, it motivated me because I always say, oh, I want her to see that day when I graduate. She didn't see it, but
Yeah.
she lived to know that I graduated from CMU,
Yeah.
and I'm now working in the shipping industry. Um, my grandmother, my aunties, Auntie Carla, Uncle Delano, my wife as well, because I am just a few days ago I celebrated 3 years of wedding anniversary.
Nice.
So yeah, my wife has been a very, very important piece of the puzzle. She has been a part of my support system even before we were married. She'd have gone through university before me, so of course she was able to help me to navigate some of the challenges there. Um, uh, there's so much people. My mentor,
I can imagine.
my mentor, Kedan Luke, he would have been, he went right through the university system, all the way up. So he was also instrumental on the journey,
Yes.
as well. So there's a lot of instrumental people. My school community as well. I have to say that the school community of Caribbean Maritime University, it's not just a school or an
Mm-hmm.
institution or an university. It's actually a support system in the case that whenever not only me but students are struggling, they will say, oh, there are several opportunities here, are the scholarship opportunities, you guys need to utilize them, because it can be very difficult to be trying to focus on exams, and then you have the burden of tuitions on your
Yes.
shoulder. So in terms of support system throughout university, the school system, Caribbean Maritime, the student affairs, and all those different areas, they were able to direct me and kind of steer the journey as well. So the support system was very strong
Yes.
support system.
Awesome. Awesome. Boy, I can't begin to express to you how proud I am of you as a young man. Not just thriving in corporate, but also lifting up the name of Jesus. Even to this day, growing up in church and still continuing on that path. So I must commend you on that. And we want to wish you all the very best for your future endeavors as you continue on this journey.
Yeah, man, really appreciate it. It is magnificent, especially for youth in Jamaica.
Yes.
If you can put first thing first, and
Mm-hmm.
and, and, and and just believe that, if you seek God first, everything will come after. Because that's one of the
Yes.
things that I lived by, not only through school but my entire life. Some of the
Mm-hmm.
time when the challenges comes, and when the difficulties comes and I don't have the answers,
Yes.
I tend to always remember, my grandmother always tell me where to find the answer. So
Absolutely.
definitely, if young people in Jamaica can put Christ first, then they can be more than a three-time Dean's Honor Roll award. They can move from university to corporate, just as I
Absolutely.
did. Smooth transition.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Daniel, for making it Campus Connection. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel White, awesome, awesome young man, leaving some powerful gems during his conversation with us inside our honor roll segment here inside Campus Connection on the family station Love 101. Daniel, many blessings and all the best for the future.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
All right, all right. Wonderful, wonderful discussion there with Daniel White. Awesome honor roll guest. So grateful that we get the opportunity to speak with young people who are not just blazing a trail of excellence, but they are, of course, amplifying the whole essence of the kingdom of God. And so that's really an amazing feeling to be able to be a part of that. And speaking of young people who continue to amplify the kingdom of God, we want to take this testimony in our I Chose Christ feature from Ragnick Mills from the University of Technology, Jamaica.
So my name is Ragnick Mills. You can call me a third year student. Studying hospitality and tourism management at the University of Technology, Jamaica. Simply put, if I can't talk about anything else about God, I can talk about the fact that He's a keeper and a sustainer. On many occasions, I know for a fact that it was simply grace that brought me through school, with limitations inclusive of money and finances, problems with schoolwork, and additional issues that would have stopped to impact my ability to finish my degree or continue schooling. Don't care what anybody else would have said, but COVID-19 was for me. I was on the brink of being put out of school because I wasn't able to pay my school fee that year, and I could not sit finals and write on time. Yeah, COVID come in, everybody had to sit exams, all of that. So and there are many other examples that can be shown or used just to talk about, God being a provider, understanding that I've encountered God as well. So I choose Christ. You should too.
Awesome testimony there from Rajnik. Wow, I am always left speechless when I hear young people talk about how God has literally helped them and is continuing to help them, whether it's through their studies, after their studies, before their studies. He's just that kind of God. Powerful stuff here inside Campus Connection this evening. Remember our social media question: what can we do to ensure that our boys maximize their full potential? You can send your responses via WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. Or you can leave your responses in the chat on Facebook or on YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. We want to know, what do you think? Right? We want to hear your thoughts. What can we do to ensure that our boys maximize their full potential? So share your thoughts with us via our WhatsApp at 876-997-3125, or you can shoot us a comment on Facebook or on YouTube. We are nearing a break. Well, actually, I think we're just going to go straight to the break and then come right back with more Campus Connection. You want to stick and stay after these messages.
Walk on, everybody want more.
Think ahead, make a plan. You got the freedom of choice.
Lark, long-acting reversible contraceptives.
I made my choice 6 years ago. I have an IUCD, also called copper T, and it will go and protect me from pregnancy for another 4 years at least.
My choice was an implant. It lasts for 5 years. And when I'm ready for a baby, I just make doctor take it out. Contact the National Family Planning Board at 9681632 to find out more about the Lark.
Think ahead, make a plan. You got the freedom of choice.
Ready to experience 6 times more freshness in your clothes? Try Downy Scent Beats. Its fragrance is so amazing, you have to sniff it to believe it. Try Downy Scent Beats today. 6 times more freshness versus using detergent alone.
Sometimes all we need is a listening ear. The listening ear, the counseling, the logical reasoning, and spiritual guidance are what appeal to us. That's why I'm here. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, the counselor, your counselor on Love 101 FM, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. You know you can call on me. I will listen and more. So let's talk about what's bothering you. Anything. Tune in, listen, call in, text or voice message. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, counseling psychologist, ready with a listening ear. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. Right here on the family station, Love 101 FM.
Wine on your tongue, you know wine on your tongue. Drive smart, don't ramp. Wine on your tongue. If a 87 you fi use, put 87 in your tongue. Fi know which fuel you use, vehicle manual fine it. Enough car in a Jamaica make fi use 87. And a petrol refine so use the octane for the car where you're driving. And me tell you some more. If a 87 your vehicle use, you are rev up the savings for sure. Know your tank fuel right, your pocket have a smile. Rev up the savings on every mile. Brought to you by Petrojam, serving Jamaica's energy needs. Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are stop up in a price.
All right. Welcome back to Campus Connection. I am Jonathan Fletcher. And if you're just joining us, we're going into our main segment. So you're joining at a fairly good time. Next time you can probably join a little earlier, but this is a good time to join as we're about to talk about reaching boys. That's a topic that we're focusing on this evening. And we have some amazing people to join in on the conversation with us. We have Dr. Howard Harvey, Career Development Officer at the Heart NSTA Leap Center. Dr. Harvey's professional education started at University of the West Indies Offside Campus, pursuing early childhood education and child psychology. And we also have Reverend Stacey Ann Garvey, who is the Executive Director of Resurrected Garvey Ministries. She is affectionately known as Resurrection Garvey, and she's a woman of remarkable strength and resilience. She has emerged as a powerful leader, mentor, and evangelist over the past decade. In 2010, while serving a prison sentence at the Fort Augustus Adult Correctional Center, she surrendered her life to the Lord. And since then, it has all been about Jesus. Lady and gentlemen, greetings. Thank you so much for being here inside Campus Connection. How are you doing?
Good. And thank you for having us.
Awesome.
I'm well,
awesome.
thank you so much.
Awesome. So we're dealing with what I would consider a very important and relevant topic this evening, reaching boys, right? And I'm sure many of us and those who are listening and viewing can attest to this, that a lot has been going on in our education system, but more so amongst our male students, right? So we want to, of course, look into how we can get how would I put this now? The attention of our boys in a positive and meaningful way, right? But let's start here with this question. Is our education system failing our boys? Dr. Harvey, we'll start with you.
Wonderful question. I actually like that question, and I hope some persons in some significant position will be listening to us this afternoon, because that's very important. Yes, I think the system has failed our boys and still failing our boys. When you look at how we push education, it creates a divorce, a dichotomy in the system. The system is supposed to amalgamate us in it and fuse into it so we can perform. And so what happened is, if you look at the early education system, for example, let me just give you a typical example. The Michael University was developed for males. That means teachers then and principals were mostly males. Today, the data show that over 80% of the Michael students are female. Now, nothing is wrong with that, What happened though is that the female took those teaching and they wasn't able to convert it to deliver it in a male way. So you find that it became delivered skewed, as we call it in research. It's not their fault. But what happened is that as it gets older and older, the older teachers keep on perpetuating this, and it continues. And you find that now, what am I talking about? If you're going to teach me a particular subject as a male, you have to engage me practically. The theory of pragmatism is what excites the brain of a male. He likes to mash up things, build it back, and then learn from it. So we analyze things through the destruction of it and the putting it back together. However, our teachers, which is mostly female, they are teaching us through their lens of how female learn, and they're unable to teach us the way how we learn. And so that's what's happening. In coupling with that, most students suffer from a lot of learning challenges like ADHD, and many suffer a lot of learning issues. No, just check it. If I come in a classroom as a male with ADHD and the teacher's schedule is not scheduled to teach me, I am not going to be able to acquire any information.
Quite interesting, an interesting perspective there from Dr. Harvey. Rev, what are your thoughts? You're muted. You're muted. Can go ahead and unmute your mic. All right. Okay. All right. So we're going to figure that out. I'm not hearing Rev right now. But if you're just joining us, we're speaking about reaching boys. That's a topic that we're focusing on. How can we reach our boys in this society? What are the strategies that we need to implement to ensure that no boy, no young man is left behind? That's something that we definitely want to look on. But Doc, staying with you, what are some of the things that may cause a boy not to continue school? Because we would have recognized in the pandemic, based on stats that have been published by the Ministry of Education, that there are a number of students that would have basically stopped school, and a lot of them were boys, right? So what are some of the things that you think could contribute to that?
All right, so this go back further than COVID. According to our society teaches that as a young man, when you reach certain age, you're going to look at work because you're supposed to foot some bills, take care of some responsibility. And so our society tend to brainwash us thinking that we do not need to continue education. So we tend to want to work to earn a bread. And that kind of stimulation, once a man tastes the money, he's going to be attracted to it and don't see school as attractive, because now he's now working using his hands. He don't have to sit down and a straining brain, as they would say. He would be engaging, doing things that he likes, and then getting a reward. So you find, this have been happening for years. And so COVID now just put the icing on the cake, where more of them now just go away, because that system of teaching and learning, there's no face-to-face, there's no emotional contact, there's no physical contact, there's nothing that is connecting the man to the teaching and learning process. So he's going to find somewhere, because remember, we have an attention problem already. So that pushes us out through the door.
Powerful stuff. Rev, I think we should be hearing you now. Can you go ahead and say something? Let me see if we're hearing you.
Hearing me now?
Yes. Awesome. So we just want to bring it in. Yes, go ahead.
What I was going to say earlier is that I don't think it just begins with the education system. Really, it really begins at home. Because even while we were growing up, girls were really the ones encouraged when it comes to college. And if they had even a song about it, boys are retarded and girls go to college to get more knowledge. And so you find that this seed would have been planted really from us growing up as children, and then it materialized in our education system, really.
Yeah. And as you said that, I'm remembering a lot more of those little, well, I don't know what we call them. Because I remember one that they said boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is, the Bible does tell us that there is life and death is in the power of the tongue. So there are certain things that we could have even released as word curses over our young men, not realizing the impact that these things are having. We have a comment here from Carleen Maxwell. She's saying, I don't think teaching has anything to do with what young boys as relates to their own child with some the cause of boys being okay. So she's coming from the angle of the lack of the father in the home, which I think would coincide with what Rev would have mentioned just now about coming from the home and the structure of the home and the importance of the different morals that are taught within the space of the home. But on that point, though, do you think that the education system plays a part in curving, if you will, what our young men would want to hold on to as this is what I want to do or this is where I need to go, right? Let me know if you're there with me. So I want to basically understand, Doc, what do you think the education system can do to basically guide our young men into the path that they need to be on?
All right. So fundamentally, teaching and learning shouldn't be as awkward as it is. There should be an assessment for each student that come into the classroom, whether we assess their personality or test their personal learning style or test their career area. And one of the things that psychologists like John Allen speak about is that if you say to me, this is who I'm going to be, and I tell you that, which comes from a test, then I will be willing to do whatever it takes to learn to get to that level, to do that career, because it's within me. So what we do now, we teach through an academia where we push grammar. And so you find that a young man wants to be a mechanic, but he's academically bright. His parents and the teacher also lead him into a direction in the academias, but he really loves mechanic. And so our culture tend to push back against skill, against TVET. And well, according to a study done by Alden Morris, I think it was in the early 90s, he said that literally 80% of all career areas hinge on skills. But our academic system tend to push boys away from skill areas or TVET per se, but more into the academias, whether they are bright or not. And if they're not bright, they say, go on and learn a skill, boy, because. What we have done, we have categorized education and put it in a thing called a stratification, and then you put who not bright versus who lesser bright into the area. While they never test me to find out that this is what I was called to do and guide me into that path and teach me the way. That's I think what missing.
Got you. And I love that you made the distinction between the academia as relates to the math, the English, the theory stuff, as opposed to the practical things. Over the weekend, I would have been involved in some conversations as well. And I'm recognizing more and more that young men are pushing towards doing what they actually want to do, right? That's what they're focusing on. And so we have to either play catch up or something of the sort to ensure that we don't lose a whole generation because of the current education system that we have. But Rev, from a spiritual standpoint now, right? Because, Campus Connection is both academics and spiritual. What do you think could be done from a spiritual standpoint in the sense of helping young men to find their purpose, right? How important even is purpose when it comes down to the life of a young man?
So, answering that question, I think it's best to answer from a motherly perspective. So I'm a mother of two boys, right? Okay. And two different personalities, two different ways in which they function, how they socialize, how they deal with emotions, and how they act out physically, and even how they respond spiritually. One of the things that I had to do, I had to engage with tools that cater to each need. And so one of the things that we have to do is to really spend some time as not just biological parents, but really spiritual parents when it comes to our children, especially boys. What you find is that boys tend to respond emotionally and socially and mentally different than females. And so many times you have to sit with them and understand their perspective on certain things, understand, their skill areas. I remember My oldest son went through 4 years of high school doing absolutely nothing, zeros.
Wow.
And when I actually sat with him to say, what is the issue? He says he didn't know. And the truth is
Wow.
that he did not know. And so what I had to do now was take him basically like a project to sit and study him. I
Yeah.
found out that one of the areas that he functions is in serving. And so I realized from an early stage that there is a grace upon him to serve others. And so what
Yes.
I do is to give him the opportunity to come and serve with me in ministry. Through that channel, I realized that he actually is a very good writer. I realized that he can sing, and I realized that
Yeah.
he's very good with his hands. And so we spend time to pray for our children. We spend time, getting them involved in other things, but we need to spend time knowing our children and understanding, what is really on their lives and the areas in which we need to capitalize on.
Powerful, absolutely powerful. I'm very happy that you took the time out as a mother to really get to the root of the cause of why things were happening the way they were. Wow, powerful and intriguing conversation here inside Campus Connection. You want to stay with us after these messages.
Come on, tell me what one. Campus Connection, get another one. Hey, so make us on that listen, let me tell you this. Students, I will make we have to do this. Oh yes.
Why should you save? You ever hear your grandmother say, one cocoa full basket? Well, it's true. Saving protects you. You should save for an emergency fund, which can come in handy in the event of illness, job loss, or unexpected financial shocks. Saving can help you manage your expenses and reduce financial stress. Saving provides you with financial freedom.
This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Blooming Baby Jamaica presents Baby and Family Expo Saturday, May 25, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Hope Zoo Kingston. Join us for the many activities, prizes and surprises and a whole lot more. 1,500 Jamaican dollars for adults and children 12 years and up. 1,000 Jamaican dollars for children 2 to 11 years. Babies under 2 free. You may even have a chance to win the ultimate gate prize. For more information, visit Blooming Baby JA on Instagram or call 876-831-0796. Sponsored by Lasco Baby Young Infant Cereal, Huggies, Sandals Resorts International, Jack and Jill Baby Diapers and Wipes, Lactopus, Amens, Giggles Premium, Fruit Dessert Gaga, Free Joy, and Lasco 1 and up.
Make we keep Jamaica clean. Me as if we keep Jamaica clean. Keep Jamaica clean. Our duty to keep our island clean. Mobile to Kingston, sidewalk and beach. Bag it, bin it, recycle it, please. Proper garbage disposal, make we do it. Keep Jamaica clean. Keep Jamaica. A message from the National Solid Waste Management Authority. Okay, where are the campus heights? Students.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. We are currently speaking about reaching boys. That's what we're focusing on this evening, and we're joined by Dr. Howard Harvey, Career Development Officer at Heart NSTA Leap Center, and of course, Reverend Stacey Ann Garvey, Executive Director of Resurrected Garvey Ministries. So before the break, we were with Rev, and she was speaking about her son and the different challenges that he face, but as a mother, she would have had to, I would say, strategize. She would have to put some things in place to really get to the root cause of these issues. And so she discovered some things about her son. And I believe that is absolutely powerful to do that, because a lot of the times we overlook because they are behaving poorly or they're performing poorly, and we kind of push them to the side. On that note, Doc, based on boys who are underperforming, if you will, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that we'd have to do to get their attention in a meaningful way to, get them motivated?
All right. So I'd like to go back to a guy named Plato, one of the
Yes.
philosophers that wrote in his Republic. And he said that if you have children in the home, both sexes must do all the activities. So if the female wash the plate, the boy must wash the plate too. And if the female wash the bathroom, and vice versa. What he's saying is that those early childhood activity and chores is developing the academic skills, the critical thinking skills. And if you notice, our ladies, young ladies, do more home chores. And one of the contributions is that it contributes to that advancement. So we have to go back right there and start to implement that. Now you need a male also in the home for the boys to actually emulate. There's a psychologist that speak about the social learning theory. It's a guy named Bandura. By he watching his father or his male model in the home doing these things, and he emulate and learn these things by observation. And then later on, it comes out. So we want to come back now to the education system and to how to help them to perform. The first thing I like what Stacey said, and I had an experience where I had to call my son one day and I prayed for him. Now, a lot of people think prayer should only come from female, but we need our men, both young and old, rich and poor, and all, to start praying for our young men so they can see that we are looking to this higher being, to God, to help us with them, and so they will fear. So I called my son one day and I sent him a voice note of a prayer. And sir and Stacey, when he called me back, he was so delighted. He was saying to me, I sent the prayer at the right time. He was going through this academic challenge. And the prayer was it's like the right medicine. So part of it is we as male need to start praying for our boys, pray them hear us praying, and pray for them deliberately. Also, I want us to touch on the soft area. We need to find out what are their love languages and start showing them love through that love language so they can be appreciated and valued. And these things that Stacey talk about, what she did with her son, she actually found one of the love language of her son. And that's what she tapped into. So we have to feed our boys through the channel that will make them become excited, enthusiastic about learning, and even just being a young man. And so these are some basic things. And finally, we want to start allowing our young man to make mistakes and correct them. Give them the independence. Allow them to try things. And when they fail, we correct them. But we don't consider it fail. In the heart, we have a slogan that says, they're just not yet competent. So don't say, boy, you work this like a pooper. Just saying, okay, let us try it again, son. Try it this way. And this will not give them that kind of motivation to move on. So those are some of the things I want us to try. Yes.
Those are very powerful points. And I sincerely hope that parents are listening, teachers, guidance counselors are listening right now. If you know a guidance counselor, if you know a teacher or parent, please share the program with them, because I believe some powerful gems are, you're dropping some powerful gems, to say the least. But Rev, can you speak to a young man who may be listening right now in 2 to 3 sentences, to inspire hope, if you will, to let him know that he may not yet be competent, but there is still hope?
So something that the Holy Spirit taught me years ago is that all things must work together for our good, because this is our heritage as children of God. And I've always said to young children, the fact that you are here, you are alive, your mother gave birth to you, it doesn't matter the condition, it means that you are a winner, right? You're here, you won just to get here. And so I say this to young people, especially young men. We fail, but there's a difference when you fail forward. How do you fail forward? Use the losses, use the failure to your advantage. How do you do that? Learn from it, right? And so I say to young men every time I have the opportunity, and I consider it a great opportunity to minister to young men, especially being a female and them listening, I say to them, you don't know how many persons are depending on you just to become successful, just so that they can live. You don't know the nations that are waiting on your victory in order for them to see light and to have life. And so I say to them all the time, what is behind you? You can't do anything about it, but use the information that you have been given today, the stories of failure, your own failures. And then what you do is to suck every bit of knowledge that you can out of it. Focus on the area that you are most competent in and work on it. Also, never neglect learning something new. You never know just how successful you'll be at it.
Yes. Wow. Love. I'm loving this conversation, but unfortunately, we're out of time. I want to say special thanks to our guests this evening, Dr. Howard Harvey and Reverend Stacey and Howard Harvey and Reverend Stacey and Garvey for joining us this evening in our conversation as we talk about reaching boys. Both of them very powerful. They have presented, I believe, some very amazing strategies that can be implemented for the greater good. So I'm very, very grateful to both of you for being a part of this conversation this evening. All right.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I sincerely hope that you had your notebook, your notepad, whatever it is, jotting down, the different nuggets that were shared in the conversation just now. Because it's so important that we focus on helping our young men and our young women, but based on what is happening in our society today, we have to put a little bit more emphasis on ensuring that we don't lose our young men to whatever factors that may want to pull them in the wrong direction. Want to say special thanks to you as well, our listeners and our viewers. Want to big up some people in the comment section. So want to big up Stacy, want to big up Nassahar, want to big up Carleen Maxwell, Stephanie Bailey, want to big up Nadine Thompson, Natalia Higgins, Alvarine Ellison, sorry. That's about it. And to all of you who have been listening, but you're not necessarily commenting, but big up yourself and thank you so much for making it Campus Connection this evening. We really, really do appreciate you being with us week after week. Coming up next week, we're talking about conflict resolution. So that's Tuesday, May 28, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101. So you don't want to miss that. Special thanks to the team working in the background to ensure that we do what we need to do. Want to thank Dr. Nadine Blair, Jermaine Johnson, Kathia Davis, Shania Smith, David Sutton, and Latifa Reed, Raquel Robertson, and of course, Ruth Lawrence. And to our guests, Oren Mattis with Education News and Bulletin, Daniel White with a powerful honor roll segment, CMU graduate and sales executive at CGM Jamaica. And of course, I Chose Christ featured by Rajnik Mills. Thank you so much for sharing that testimony and our conversation just now on Reaching Boys. We had our guest, Dr. Howard Harvey, Career Development Officer at Heart NSTA Leap Center, and of course, Reverend Stacey and Garvey, Executive Director, Resurrected Garvey Ministries. Thank you so much for making Campus Connection what it was. So that's it for our show this week. See you next week as we explore more things Wagwan Pan Campus.
Yeah.